Good day, folks. So, a bench update, first one in a very long time, and I actually got some models out, and these are my Austrians. I've decided to go back to them and have a go at doing a bit of painting again. So, I've also created myself loads more work, and I'll go into a bit more detail about that and show you some examples of what I mean, but just a quick idea is I normally do battalions of 24 men, but I've been looking at them and I just think Austrians, really, they're supposed to have bigger regiments, and it just never quite sat right with me, so I've decided to expand them. Now, I was going to rebase everything and put 3 men to a base, but then I'd have had to paint like 36 men, so I've decided to stick with 4 men to a base and just do 32 men. These are going to be Grenzers with the nice little details on the trousers. I've mixed in some plastics, and I'll just paint them details on by hand. The original idea was to have 50% metal, 50% plastic, but because I've decided to add an extra 8 men, there's a bit more plastic than there would have been, but it's still okay. I think once they're all together in a big unit, it'll be fine. So, as I was saying before, I've now decided to add 8 men to every single battalion that I've got. And I think I've got 16 infantry battalions. So, quite a lot of men to paint. Now, the idea of painting 32 Austrians in one go is a little bit daunting, so I might break them into 2 groups, 16, get them done, and then I'll pick a few 8 men at a time and just expand my original unit. So I'll give you an idea visually of what I'm talking about. Okay, so please excuse shaky hand. So this is originally how the battalions would look. Now, Austrians kind of set up quite differently to the French and the British. So the British would tend to be in fact, let me just put this back on the tripod. So yeah, as I was saying, the British would tend to be in line. Let's move all these back quickly. So they look something like this. Can't quite get all this on camera. It's annoying. Something like this. Okay, maybe that'll be I've got a new tripod, so I'm kind of working with that. Anyway, so the British would be in line like this. The French would generally attack in column, so on the gaming table they would look something like this. So in 3, they'd have 2 companies, front rank, then 2 companies, and then grenadiers and voltigeurs, and that'd be their attack column. And the Austrians would kind of do a combination of both. So it'd be like half line, half column, in effect. So it'd be in a block of infantry like this. Now, as we all know, the Austrians tended to have really big units. And mine are just 24 men. And I didn't think they looked imposing enough. So my plan is to make them that big. To my eye, that just looks better. Let me pause this 1 second. So there, you can kind of tell the difference there. I mean, it's quite striking straight away. Let me just see if I can take this off the tripod. The difference is quite remarkable, I think. And it just looks that much more imposing like this. I've done it with the grenadiers because they would have all had different collars and cuffs, because they've all come from different battalions. So it's quite easy to to redo these. So in effect, let me just put this back on tripod again. So with the existing troops I've got, I've basically got enough to make 3 larger battalions, which I think just looks a lot better. Obviously one of these is command stand, so that will go on to make the 4th, so I can complete my 4 battalions for a brigade. But yeah, it just don't they look better? I don't think there's any comparison. So it does mean I now got to paint an extra 32 grenadiers, yippee. And as I say, I've got quite a lot of extra men to paint for all the battalions I've painted. But I just think it looks better. I just think it'll be worth it. Anyway, let me know what you think. But I'm pretty convinced I'm going that way, and it does save me having to rebase everything, which I really didn't want to do. So on that note, that brings me to the cavalry. So my thoughts for the cavalry. Now, I've been watching a channel, Liberator 240, ever since I first started getting back into historicals years and years ago. And Scott just has his units of cavalry 9 strong, 2 bases of 6, and I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do the same now. 9, 3 bases, so that guy in the end wouldn't be there. And then just have 9 to the cavalry, which means I've got 3 of these already painted. So if I order 6 more, then I could have 2 units of them. And then that will satisfy the fact that sometimes, well, with Austrian cavalry, I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure their cavalry regiments were pretty big as well. So I can have a frontage of 9, I know that's 8, don't be picky, a frontage of 9, and then when I paint the others, I'll have 2 units, or failing that, I'll have 1 big unit of 18. And I think that'll work. It just means I'll have to double up on every regiment that I've got. But as I've got most, well, I haven't got most of it painted. I've got a fair bit of it painted. So like with the Hussars, I'll only have to paint an extra 6. I had to paint another 12 Dragoons and Carabineers anyway. So I'll just paint them up and match them in as I say, and then I'll go with units of 9. It doesn't mean I've got to rebase them, so I'll have to try and save all the tufts and things on the bases. And hopefully then it will give me the visual look that I want for my Austrian army. It'll just make it look that much more imposing with, you know, the bigger regiments and the bigger battalions, and it should just look better, I think. Anyway, as I say, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts and whether you think 9 cavalry in a battalion is enough. I suppose in effect it'd be, you could treat each base as a squadron or 2 squadrons, so you could say it's like 6 squadrons, or you could say it's 3 squadrons. But yeah, whatever. Interested to hear your thoughts on the on my idea for the cavalry as well. I am going to probably do this with all the British and French cavalry that I've already painted as well. So, but they will not go to 18. They'll just be staying at 9. It's only the Austrians. I'm thinking if I double up on every regiment, I can have units of 9, or I can have big old units of 18 if I so desire. So I was going to contact my good friend Dredd and get some painting done today, but I've had a hunt around. I can't find any blooming undercoat spray. Well, there was a rattle can in the garage of the skeleton horde or bone or whatever the hell it was, and it's dried out. But there was only a tiny bit in there anyway, so I don't know whether I'd have managed to get this entire battalion done. Yeah, so I've got to pop to Games Workshop now and buy some for our campaign. I mean, I could do it by hand, but I just can't be asked. So I'm going to pop into workshop tomorrow morning early, get a rattle can, and I will undercoat these, and then I'll start doing all the base coats. And these 8, so I can expand one of the regiments that I've already got. Anything else going on? I did get this in the post, which is Blitzkrieg Battle in a Box starter set. So what I will do a full unboxing of that later in the week or something. So anyway, interested to hear your thoughts, what you think of my Austrian army. At the minute I have 3 gun batteries as well, so do you think there should be 4 gun batteries? I hope not. But I'll have to see. I'll have to see when the army's laid out, or at least when I've got a few of the regiments maxed out, if you like, see what it all looks like. But yeah, I definitely think the infantry just looks so much better that way. And I think my idea for the cavalry should work as well, hopefully, anyway. Let me know your thoughts. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.